So I'm Claire McCarthy and I'm a co-researcher and I did the id+ project.
Hi, I'm William O'Donovan, an independent living course and the CDIP course. And now I'm doing the research.
Hi, I'm Brian Cole. I did the certification contemporary living and the CETO certification disability inclusive practice. Now I'm a co-researcher.
My name is Breed Broderick and I am a co-researcher. I did the 2 courses on the id+ project. I did the certificate in social citizenship and I also completed the certificate in disability and inclusive practice. My experiences were I thought the staff were really engaging and they always tried to help you. And the learning support staff were really amazing. They always tried to accommodate you if you had a problem and they always wanted you to do well in everything.
My experiences were good. At first I was nervous and I felt the staff were very good because they encouraged you but they didn't put pressure on you at first. And I found it was good because it got you used to a bigger campus, and I find people in UCC are very friendly, even if you have an intellectual disability. Say, for example, the peer buddies were there for when you were in the bigger classes, and they kind of were with you if you needed help, and then if you didn't need so much help, they'd still be there, but they wouldn't be they give you space to do your own work. And I felt they were very inclusive in that they wanted to learn about you and your intellectual disability rather than kind of talking mean about somebody with an intellectual disability.
I enjoyed it, and although the staff were very nice and friendly.
Good experience. The staff were friendly and helped you if you were stuck on computers or logging in and stuff.
What courses did you take?
Computers, maths, music.
I took maths, English, computers, drama, music, arts.
I took computers, I took sports, I took nursing.
I took intellectual disability nursing, PE, psychology. I took computers, interpersonal culture skills, speaking skills.
The co-learning we did the law, and that was for only 4 weeks. We started doing the contemporary living course, and it was for 2 years, and we did computers, maths, English, drama, music, arts, and it was a lot of them was 7 weeks, but it was all together.
Certificate in disability inclusive practice. Only 1 year about your rights with your disability, and there's a lot of conferences then we were at.
So I did disability inclusive practice, and some courses we had to do and some courses we could choose. the courses we chose were only maybe 6-7 weeks long, and this was kind of hard because maybe you wanted to do it for longer periods of time. But then when they were finished, you went back to your main stream courses for the rest of the term.
Myself and Claire were done the same courses. The certificate in disability inclusive practice was 1 year, and the certificate in social citizenship was 1 year. Well, after the certificate in social citizenship, I went for a 12-week work placement. Well, I benefited from the 12-week work placement because EPS in Mallow, that company, called me back to do casual hours to their work placement, and I would have never got that opportunity to work before, only for UCC organising the work placement.
I benefited from the 2 courses because I feel my confidence is better, and I met new people, and I feel now I can learn, but maybe in a different way to others, but I could still do it, hopefully. And I benefit from the work placement because even though I didn't get a job there, I feel more confident, and I was able to do things that I didn't think I was able to do before.
In one sense, when I did the work experience because of UCC and the bus depot, I was able to help by talking to the bus drivers and see what should happen to help people with intellectual disability and any kind of disability.
Confident about meeting new people and making friends as well. We're evaluating the id+ project at the moment. We got trained during last summer during the summer. We did law and
We did role plays about how to listen, really listen when someone talking, say tiny bit of what they said so they know you're really listening to them. We had to get ethical approval, so we had to send it away and wait until we get news back to say it was approved before we could do the questionnaires.
We worked in twos. We had ourselves, the co-researcher, and the more experienced researcher, and the experienced researcher asked the leading questions, and we asked the questions on the sheet.
I think research is very important in that, especially to include people with intellectual disabilities, because they might have other opinions than people without disabilities. And I find that's important, especially in the line of disability, because someone might see that the person with the disability has potential, and they might approach them and say, can you help me with a project on disability, a research project on disability, and you might have more information than I would about this project.
It's very important for me because I would like to see people with intellectual disability getting a good experience in the courses and to make it meaningful as possible to them and getting a lot out of it.
We're recording the interviews. We did the interviews with the lecturers and the other students and the ID+ project is where we are interviewing them alongside them.
It's very interesting that, like what Brian said, and you also get the information you hear of how the student on IT Plus find it, how they find it different than, like, some students find it harder or easier than the others, and peer body find it different again from the lectures. So they all, from interviewing all of them, they all find it in different ways of how different it is. So that will make it very good, because, like, then if you can help in other ways, you will find how, from listening to all of them, you'll find what actually works and what doesn't work, and it will hopefully make things much easier.
My experience has been good because I have learned how to be the interviewer instead of the interviewee, and how to maybe prompt questions or put a lead question into a question that's already there. And I also think it's good because you're listening to the feedback of the courses you did. They might have different opinions than you. You mightn't have thought of something they might speak of.
I think they should be allowed to get the opportunity to get involved, and they should be encouraged to kind of attend and to learn with the more experienced researcher. They should be allowed to kind of get the chance to learn and get the opportunity to do it. I feel it gave me more confidence, and I got the opportunity to learn more and to get information about kind of improving courses for people with intellectual disabilities. Gave me more insight. Challenging was being able not to kind of overstep, and kind of being able to accept the answer and not kind of be asking something that you can't really ask.
What I found challenging was at first it was getting used to asking the questions, and maybe they had a different answer. So maybe you had to ask a lead question to find out more information. And also it was kind of the different areas, like if you were a peer buddy or a learning support, you had different sets of questions. So you had to get used to asking different questions all the time. I kind of grew more confident the more interviews I did. And I did a mix of interviews. I did online and I did in person. So I found that those experiences were different. And I liked the mix of that, in that online was kind of tricky sometimes, but in person you might get more information off the person because you're face to face.
The questions, I suppose, they're kind of practicing helped a small bit.
We put everything into easy read so people can read it easier. So there'd be pictures on one side